Our thoughts lead to words. Yes, we know that in theory, but how many of us truly believe on it and act on it? Something that we have to do every day. That is what we're going to talk about in today's episode. So stay tuned. Hi everyone, Dr. V here. I am your certified and credentialed elite life changer, which is a fancy way of saying a life coach. I help you reassess, realign, reinvent, and realize who you be at your core so you can be the CEO of YOU, which is your Chief Expansion Officer of your own universe. So we are talking about thoughts lead to words. Our thoughts lead to words. It's a mouthful, right? And I'm doing something different. I was avoiding this, but I was like, let's jump into it and stop playing around. So this is the first episode, by the way, so you'll hear me explaining, and so just bear with me, and we will jump into it for future references. I've had this particular resource that I'm going to share with you all since 2017, and I had it, I enjoyed it, and I'm like, okay. And then I found myself coming back to it. And then I'm thinking about all of the trainings that I've had in like Bible study growing up, talking about the battlefield of the mind. I did a whole discipleship class, whole module training on that when I was younger through my church. And then coming into this world of coaching, even before I officially decided I want to be a coach, I got into some mindset work. I had a mindset coach, and that just opened up the door to me about mindset work. Now, I knew about mindset as it related to education and mathematics and things like that, but personal mindset was still new to me. I know, strange, right? And then I knew about like spiritual warfare in our mind because I grew up in the church and things like that. But the more I got into understanding coaching, and then when I got a business coach, she talked about mindset. So mindset has been around a lot lately. And that is like one of the main things that come up when we talk about coaching, especially in the areas of life coaching. But in all life coaching, there should be an element of mindset in there. So all of that brought me back to this particular resource, which is my Bible from Joyce Meyer, Battlefield of the Mind Bible. Renew your mind through the power of God's word. So what I decided to do, what was led on my heart to do, was just start creating these mini episodes based on like a lot of her commentary. So I will read her commentary. Some of them are very short. Some of them are quite lengthy. And so I'll see how it goes with that. But I was like, well, let me start reading these and then share my own opinion, because everyone may not get this Bible. Everyone may not have this resource, but I wanted to find a way to make it come alive. And so the first one is thoughts lead to words. And she says, every word begins with a thought. Oh, let me back up. If you are not a Christian or someone who believes in God, I still hope that you stay tuned and listen and hear something that may spark your mind or give you some insight or make you say, So I'm not here to cause you to agree with me or to say you have to do this a certain way. I'm just sharing the information and sharing my examples and my insights with you, and take what you will. All right, now back into it. Every word begins with a thought. When God created the world, he spoke it into being. He spoke. Everything he made in the natural realm was first a thought, and then a word, and then his words had power. So, for example, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. That's one of the first scriptures that I learned when I went to private school. And God said, let there be an expanse of the sky in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters below the expanse from the waters above the expanse. And God said, let the waters below the heavens be gathered into one place of standing, pooling together, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And that's from Genesis chapter 1, verses 3 through 9. Everything God said came to pass. We are created in God's image. And your words, our words, also have power. Your words, our words, are a result of your thoughts, our thoughts. and they affect you and your life. So use them wisely, believe in and speak in agreement with God's plans for your life, and you will see it come to pass. And so I don't know about you, but like I said, that was one of the first scriptures that I learned going to private school, in Sunday school, going to church. God said, "Let there be light." But it didn't dawn on me until late in my adulthood that the power of words, God was setting an example for us. So again, if you don't believe in the Bible, but then you read the books on mindset and change your thinking, think about where the foundation of all of that came from. But it's one thing to have these thoughts in our minds, but then not only did God think them, He actually spoke them out. And I think a lot of times when we move into thinking about mindset and monitoring the thoughts that we have, we a lot of us stay up there. It's like, okay, I want to change my thinking, I want to monitor my thoughts, I want to change my mindset. But how many of us actually say the words when we change our mind? So it's like, okay, I don't want to think negative thoughts today. All right, so I'm going to think powerful of myself. I'm going to think in a positive way. But do you actually say the words of affirmations out? I am beautiful. I am smart. I am on my way to X, Y, and Z. Do you actually say the words so you can feel the vibration in your throat and come out? Because there's something to you saying the words and then you hearing it and then putting it in the atmosphere. God being all powerful, He definitely could have just thought, you know, let there be light, like, and light appeared. But the fact that He said, let there be light, that lets us know that we have to actually say the thoughts that are coming to our minds, because that is how things change in the atmosphere. So, yes, thoughts lead to words, but it's also thoughts lead to the spoken word. So, God Himself was giving us the example of Him speaking and how the entire universe was created. Imagine how powerful our words are if we want to change our universe, our surrounding atmosphere. A lot of times I believe things aren't changing, aren't shifting. We can journal out everything. We can write out our affirmations so many times. There's a method that you can script out what you want. And a lot of people use that for manifestation and law of attraction and all of that. But there are power behind the actual word. So for me, I started saying my affirmations out loud, saying my scriptures out loud, reading my Bible out loud, and reading books out loud. Or I would play the audio of a book so I can hear some words. But then if there's something that I wanted to stick, I would pause it and repeat it back out loud. And just like doing that just a few days, I started noticing a shift. So if you've already been writing things out and you keep a lot in your mind and you filled your mind up with positive things and you're like, okay, I started making progress, but now I've plateaued a little bit. Start saying what you've been reading or writing out loud and see how that feels in your body, because a lot of that is attached to the vibration of our cells. I won't get into that here, but again, it's a reason why God spoke. And if you go out through the entirety of the Bible and listen to the Bible stories, when God spoke, when Jesus spoke, when the disciples spoke, when everyone spoke, there was a shift that happened. I remember when I first wanted to get back into speaking, I had been a presenter, all throughout my career and all throughout school. But then there was just something happened where I lost the power of my voice. I would still talk to people, but I wouldn't use my voice because of certain things that happened. I just felt like nobody wanted to listen to me, or only if I was teaching or presenting on something. But outside of that, no one wanted to listen to me. And I remember signing up for the speaker course with Lisa Nichols. And if you followed me for a while, then you understand, like, I'm just wrapped up in that community. And I have other coaches as well. But I remember that was the first time where I really understood the power of getting my voice back and speaking out what I wanted to say, because I'm very analytical and I stay in my head a lot. So a lot of times I'll have thoughts in my head and then I immediately type them out or go to a presentation, just words, or writing them out. And then I would just keep practicing, like speeches in my head over and over, or there are times when I would record myself and listen to it, but I never really fully spoke the words until it was time for me to do a presentation. But in that speaker course with her, it was like I constantly had to say, what I was going to talk about over and over again. And I felt a huge difference. Now, that was with speaking, and that thought, even though that was a couple years ago, it brought me back to this point here, the power of getting the words out. So it's not enough just to have the thought in your mind. I invite you to speak it out, because it says when we believe in and speak in agreement, then that means we're aligning with God's plan for our life. Now, you may not believe in God, but we all were created to give our gifts and talents to the world for all of it to coexist in a plan that is greater than us. So when we believe it first, because that's step number one, then speak it, and then we'll see it being revealed. All right, so let me know your thoughts about that. I would love to hear from you. If you have not subscribed and you feel like you want to, then go ahead and do that, and make sure you tap the bell for notifications. Or if you just want to stop by and watch without subscribing, that's all fine and dandy too. And I hope that something today sparked you to embrace your unique brilliance, expand your capacity for more, explore new possibilities in your life, and elevate to the person that you know yourself to be. And why is that important? Because we need you to be well, to be empowered, to be bold, and to be brilliant. Until next time, bye. In a world that never stops, have you ever found yourself yearning for a moment of respite, a chance to reconnect with yourself, discover your true potential, and find the clarity you need to thrive? Introducing the Personal Guided Retreat Kit, a transformative resource created by renowned life coach and life changer, Dr. Vernita. It's time to prioritize your well-being and embark on a journey of self-discovery like no other. Inside this complimentary downloadable kit, you'll find everything you need to design your own personal retreat. Imagine immersing yourself in a sanctuary of peace guided by a skilled leader who will inspire movement, reflection, and meditation. Oh, and by the way, that skilled leader is you. Dr. V believes that you are your first expert coach. With the Personal Guided Retreat Kit, you'll gain access to a detailed personal retreat planning guide that takes the guesswork out of creating your perfect retreat. You'll explore essential areas of your life through powerful reflection questions, unlocking insight that will transform your relationships, career, health, and personal growth. Dive into a rich tapestry of guided meditations and mindfulness practices designed to help you cultivate a deep presence and inner peace during your retreat. And with our curated journal prompts and questions, you'll guide your transformative journey and anchor your insights for a lasting change. But the Personal Guided Retreat Kit doesn't stop when your retreat ends. Discover practical tips and strategies to sustain the benefits of your retreat in your everyday life. It's time to integrate the profound changes and step into the life of purpose, fulfillment, and joy. Your journey to self-discovery starts now. Don't miss this opportunity to invest in yourself, to prioritize your well-being, and unlock your full potential. Download your Personal Guided Retreat Kit today and embark on a transformative journey of self-transformation. It's time to create the retreat experience you've been yearning for. The Personal Guided Retreat Kit, your path to a more empowered and fulfilling life. Are you ready to discover what's possible? Download the Personal Guided Retreat Kit now and take the first step towards a life of purpose and joy. I'll see you on the other side.